Now there's a ton of AI text-to-speech tools out there, but most of them are either crap or have their own limitations in terms of quality, flexibility, and the range of voices that they have, especially when it comes to using it for YouTube. So in this video, I'm going to show you, in my opinion, the best AI voice generation tool of 2024. As a YouTuber or content creator, if you're planning to replace your voice or that of, say, an overpriced voice artist, then you really want the most human sounding voice possible, and most importantly, you want voices that are going to get monetized by YouTube. The AI tool I'll be showing you today is one that I personally use on 2 of my faceless YouTube channels. So if you want to play it safe with your channel, then this is the platform that you want to use. There are a couple of other tools that I recommend in terms of quality and monetization, which I'll put links to in the video description along with other resources for you. With that said, YouTube has recently made some changes to their policies around the use of AI in your videos, and in order to get the best out of these voices while passing monetization, there are a number of things that you have to be aware of. So in the second part of this video, I'll be showing you exactly how to use it. The tool in question is called ElevenLabs, and although people have been using it for some time now, there were limitations to using it while it was still in beta. It has, however, now been upgraded and boasts some of the most advanced features on the market, including voice cloning, voice creation, project editing, and even multi-language voices. It also has a free account, which again I'll link to in the video description. But in terms of paid accounts, they offer a variety of scalable subscriptions that give you a fixed amount of monthly credit to use within your account, which I have to say is much better than keeping the best voices behind a paid door for higher subscriptions like many other tools do. Overall, this makes ElevenLabs one of the cheapest tools to get started with, though you will need to proofread your scripts before generation, otherwise trust me when I say you are going to burn through your credit really quickly. Now if you watch a lot of YouTube videos, especially shorts, then you will have no doubt heard a number of their pre-made voices, which I'll be showing you soon. I actually stopped using them for a bit because of this, though they have since created a massive library of voices for you to choose from, and you can even generate your own voices or create bespoke voices inside, so you can now easily find or even create your own perfect voice to match the exact theme of your channel and brand. Now, I'm aware that many people out there are worried that their videos won't get monetized because they think that YouTube doesn't like AI. However, this is not the case. YouTube have their own AI tools and will be creating even more, so they know that AI is here to stay and they do not hate it. What they dislike is low effort videos. If you use low quality free voices that everyone else can use with free stock footage or even reuse content, then they will see this as low effort or just someone else trying to make money off the platform by flooding it with free and crappy content. On a quick side note, you could actually get a low quality voice monetized if you put a great deal of artistic effort into making something original. But as quality has a higher perceived value all in itself, it's definitely safer to just go with a good quality voice. So with that said, let's jump inside ElevenLabs and I'll show you how to get the most out of it for your voiceovers. So once inside ElevenLabs, you should see something like this. So it's going to have the area where you can put your text, which I prepared some test text for us to use. And then down the side on the left, assuming that you're on a desktop computer, you're going to see all of the different tabs, which I'll give you a quick overview of before we jump into creating and testing the different features that it has. So the first one at the top is your speech section. And if we come here, you'll be able to see the generation part, which again is putting the different text that we have here ready to generate from our credit. You can create up to 5,000 characters at a given time, and then it shows you the quota up here that you're using from your overall account credit. So based on your account credit, you'll see what your quota is. So I have just over 100,000 credits per month. And then you'll see here, you've got the history, which is where you can actually download all of the different samples that you tested. So I've been testing a number of different voices for you guys here, so I'll be able to show you those in just a bit. And you can also, if you want, go to the advanced setup here, and that's going to show you all of the different features that you have for adjusting the voice. Now you can see this inside the simple part as well, but it basically allows you to switch between the model, and obviously the 11 Labs V2 Turbo Edition is going to be the one that's going to have the most flexibility in terms of latency, in terms of quality of voice, the emotion and everything else, and also the stability. So as you can see here, you can adjust the stability to make it more variable, which might give it more emotion, and then more stable, which will obviously make it more stable, more reliable, but maybe less emotional. So it shows you what these are. And then you've got the similarity here. So if you were cloning a voice, you could obviously drop that similarity to start creating something different. And you could also switch back to the default settings. So if we go back to the simple mode, and then again, you could click settings here to see those just down the side here. And then if we come inside, you're going to have sound effects. Now, sound effects are something that you might not have thought of when you come and think about voice generation, but you can actually get it to create different types of noises here for you. So if you are wanting to create background noise that does not carry any sort of copyrighted materials, you can start to create some different sounds. So we could say, okay, give me the whiz of a car. And then it will give you some variations to use. And this is obviously going to use a little bit of your credit, but not very much. So let's hear those. Okay, so you then got different sounds that you can use, and obviously you can start by giving it different instructions to create a different type of sound effect. And this is quite handy if you're just looking for very quick sound effects, and as I said, you don't want to be paying for stock sites. So it's just like a great little extra in terms of sound effects that you might want to use in your video. It's not going to be the ones that you actually know and like online, such as the sort of meme style ones and everything else, but it is going to be a good place to create original sound effects. And then we have our voices down the side, and this is going to be your library of different voices. So this is for the voices that you've saved from the library, that you've created using their creation system inside their lab. And then it's also for voices that you've cloned, such as your own voice. So I've got a number here that I've been testing, along with ones that I've cloned. And then you've got the voice library, which we will be getting into very soon, where you can find almost unlimited voices. There's so many different styles being added all of the time. So the next feature is going to be projects. We are going to be getting into that very soon as well. And this is where you can literally just create document style projects for your video together. So if you were just using the speech, as I said, you could only create 5,000 characters for any given section of voiceover. You would then have to edit that together inside your editing software, which might not be a problem for you, but creating your voiceover in one go inside your voiceover app, such as 11 Labs, is much easier than trying to edit it all together later on. And it also helps with stability and the quality of the overall video voiceover. So this is a feature that you're going to probably want to use and is required with, I think, the creator account, which ranges somewhere around $20 per month. So it's up to you whether you use that or not. It's not a must-have. You can edit it together and go for a cheaper or free account, but this is a great option to use. And then we have dubbing, and dubbing is where you're going to actually translate your videos or your scripts into a different language. So if you wanted to create, say, channels in completely different languages, then you would be able to dub that inside your video here. And you could also take the dubbing translation of just the text or the voiceover as well. And then we have the audio native, which is a great option for basically turning your blog or your website pages into audio. So not everybody wants to read an entire web page or blog article. They may actually just want the audio part. And I actually see a lot of YouTubers creating audios now for their emails. So they basically have an option when they send the email to say, listen to this email or read it. So lots of people want to save time. So this is a great way of turning large text blogs or emails into audios for people to listen to. So those are the key features. So now let's listen to some of the actual speech parts inside of this. So once you put some text here, you'd be able to go in and select from the drop down a number of different voices. It will have the voices that you've created, the voices that you've used, generated, cloned, everything here. But it also has a number of voices that are pre-made. Some of these, no doubt you've heard. So I would say that this one, especially if you've listened to shorts on YouTube, is probably one that's been used a lot. So let's quickly listen to that.
Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere.
Now, I actually don't think these are that great anymore, but they are ones that are quite stable, and because of the up and down tone, it works quite well in shorts.
Allow the world to live as it chooses, and allow yourself to live as you choose.
What worries you masters you.
Okay, so those are some of the pre-made ones. So traditionally, these were very stable.
But these are not normal times in our politics. Washington is as divided as ever.
Okay, so even if you just wanted to go for the pre-made ones, they're pretty darn good. But as I said before, you have the option from thousands of voices inside the voice library. So we go into the voice lab, we can select add generative or cloned voice. So we can instantly create our own voice inside here. This is like a bit like a sort of lottery wheel of spinning and creating your own voice. It's a good option, but there's no real control that you have over this. So let's say we want to go with, we'll leave it with female. Actually, let's go with male. And we're going to go with middle-aged, American, and accents. We'll leave it that strong. It's obviously going to use a little bit of our quota. So you are going to use some of your credit creating and discovering the voices that are going to be right for your channel. So then we'll go generate.
First, we thought the PC was a calculator. Then we found out how to turn numbers into letters, and we thought it was a typewriter.
So, as I said, how it's random is that no voice is the same. And it would be great if this had more flexibility in terms of allowing us to really dial down into the type of voice we want. But we could just say turn down the accent strength and let's say go younger and see what it generates.
First, we thought the PC was a calculator. Then we found out how to turn numbers into letters, and we thought it was a typewriter.
So all of these voices are apparently completely original and unique to you. So their AI is literally generating something unique. So it's a nice feature, but I prefer the voices in the library. Now, if you wanted to clone your own voice, and I'll show you my voice later on, I obviously have a bit of an edge to my voice tone. So it's assumed I'm Australian, and it's really sort of bumped up my Australian tone, which I'll show you later on. You'll probably find it quite funny. So if you want to create your own voice, you literally come here, name it, and then you upload files that have to be below 10 megabytes each. And you can add, depending on the account you have, anything from 1 minute up to 30 minutes of audio samples to create your voice from. And then once you do it, you confirm that you have the rights to use those voices, and that's it. So it's a great way to clone your voice if you actually want to use your personal voice, but you don't have to be stuck recording each time like I am now. It will probably be much easier for me just to type a script and get it to generate. So what I generally recommend is the voice library. Inside here, you can find many, many great voices. So all you have to do, you can scroll down, you can see many here. There's lots of different styles, anything from TV, conversational, narrative. But what I like to do is literally come here to the filter and then select here based on the different type of voice I'm looking for. So let's say I'm looking for a male. I'm going to go with young. Accent will go American. Now, an observation that I've made is that female voices tend to be more stable and more forgiving when it comes to AI for some reason. And I think it has something to do with the tones. So men's voices are getting better, but the range of good voices seems to be smaller. So when we're creating voices, they're either great or they're pretty crappy. So female voices tend to be a little bit more stable, or those with accents. So if you want to do something different, go with an English accent and maybe try and get a regional accent or Australian. So we can do Australian and it can sound a bit more forgiving with the tones. So let's go Australian young and see what we get. And then you just play the samples.
Hi, I'm Will from Australia. Use my voice for your next audiobook or advertising project.
The less effort, the faster and more powerful you will be.
So you see how good some of these are.
Hi there, I'm Matt. I'm a late 20s man with a deep voice and a mild Australian accent. I intended this voice model to be ideal for e-learning.
Now I'm going to show you how it compares to my voice and other things later on, so we're going to be going a bit deeper, but literally you can keep going through this library and find so many different options to use. Alright, so once you've selected one of these, you just go add to your voice lab, and depending on your account, you're allowed a fixed number of voices, and you can obviously delete and keep using them, but I think with the free, you're allowed a few, and then with the $5 per month account, you're allowed something like 10 voices, which should be more than enough, assuming you only have one channel. So let's now go back to my speech. So let me read this for you, and then what I'll do is I will show you some comparative people reading it, some different voices from male to female to regional accents. If you want to go viral on YouTube, then it all starts with a good video idea. Yes, copying others can work if you're lucky, but when you copy, the original video quickly gets diluted with a tidal wave of competitors' videos, especially with faceless channels. So you aren't likely to go viral anytime soon. That award normally goes to the person who actually came up with the video idea in the first place. Your goal should be to become that person. And before I get attacked in the comments below, of course an idea alone won't make you go viral. Some videos will fall flat and fail, especially in competitive niches. You need the full packaging of idea, thumbnail, title, and editing to perform together. If you want to go viral on YouTube, then it all starts with a good video idea. Yes, copying others can work if you're lucky, but when you copy, the original video idea quickly gets diluted with a tidal wave of competitors' videos, especially with faceless channels, so you aren't likely to go viral anytime soon. That award normally goes to the person who actually came up with the idea in the first place. Your goal should be to become that person. And before I get attacked in the comments below, of course an idea alone won't make you go viral. Some videos will fall flat and fail, especially in competitive niches. You need the full packaging of idea, thumbnail, title, and editing to perform together.
If you want to go viral on YouTube, then it all starts with a good video idea. Yes, copying others can work if you're lucky, but when you copy, the original video idea quickly gets diluted with a tidal wave of competitors' videos, especially with faceless channels. So you aren't likely to go viral anytime soon. That award normally goes to the person who actually came up with the idea in the first place. Your goal should be to become that person. And before I get attacked in the comments below, of course, an idea alone won't make you go viral. Some videos will fall flat and fail, especially in competitive niches. You need the full packaging of idea, thumbnail, title, and editing to perform together.
If you want to go viral on YouTube, then it all starts with a good video idea. Yes, copying others can work if you're lucky, but when you copy, the original video idea quickly gets diluted with a tidal wave of competitors' videos, especially with faceless channels, so you aren't likely to go viral anytime soon. That award normally goes to the person who actually came up with the idea in the first place. Your goal should be to become that person. And before I get attacked in the comments below, of course an idea alone won't make you go viral. Some videos will fall flat and fail, especially in competitive niches. You need the full packaging of idea, thumbnail, title, and editing to perform together.
If you want to go viral on YouTube, then it all starts with a good video idea. Yes, copying others can work if you're lucky. But when you copy, the original video idea quickly gets diluted with a tidal wave of competitors' videos, especially with faceless channels. So you aren't likely to go viral anytime soon. That award normally goes to the person who actually came up with the idea in the first place. Your goal should be to become that person. And before I get attacked in the comments below, of course, an idea alone won't make you go viral. Some videos will fall flat and fail, especially in competitive niches. You need the full packaging of idea, thumbnail, title, and editing to perform together.
So when you're creating your text, you really want to make sure that you're reading it before and that your punctuation is spot on. You can get AI to correct and check this for you, but you also want to be making sure that it reads as you would actually speak, not how you write. So this is something that you need to understand when you're writing scripts, especially for faceless channels. It has to sound like somebody's speaking. So if you're using words like you are, you want to make sure you're saying you're. So you want to abbreviate and shorten words just as we do when we're speaking. Next up, we want to be creating our projects. So your project, as I said before, is probably going to be where you're going to create your entire script coming together, rather than just piecing it together in the editing software afterwards. So if you go into projects, and then you go create new project, and you go create an empty project, or you can actually pull one in from a URL, which could be, say, pulling in a blog post or something like that. Test project. The name of the voice, we're going to go with, so we're going to use Brian. Now, some voices are not permitted as of yet to be used in projects. Now, projects is probably still got some beta features inside, so maybe this will change in future, but you may be limited on the voice that you can use inside a project. So let's go with Brian. Let's quickly play it.
Hi, I'm Brian. I'm a Gemini. I don't like long walks on the beach or pina coladas. I pretty much just like reading stuff that you type.
Okay, fine. So kind of fun. And then we go recommend using Model 2. So we'll select the recommendation, which is the more up-to-date version anyway, so it's probably going to sound better. Quality standard. This depends on the account that you have, because the higher your subscription, this is something that is different between the subscriptions. You will be able to download higher quality voices in terms of the output, but I've never really noticed a huge difference on that. So we'll stick to standard. And then download settings, again, nothing really that relevant for you here, so we're not going to worry about that too much. And then pronunciation, again, not worry too much about that. I think we'll keep that, and then go create. And then what you see here is that you can actually paste text. So we can come here and we can literally just start typing any text we want. Now, what you can do, and it's something like I like to do, it does also depend on your budget. I actually like to write scripts here sometimes. If the script isn't too long, then I like to edit it here. So normally I would do it in a document, then paste it here, and then I would test sections to see how it reads and edit it here. But again, that's going to use up credit that you may not want to use. So then we can go, as it's highlighted in yellow, we can play this, and that means it will automatically generate
Test
it.
any text we want, so if you had a script, you would add it here.
Okay, so probably punctuation and the reading and the voice probably isn't right for this, but I can break this down into chapters, and I can also break this down into different paragraphs, and you could create whole paragraphs together, or you could again test them separately. So again, if I highlight this one, it's been generated already, and this one hasn't. So the great thing about this is that you can actually select a different voice. So if you were doing a story or narrative type of script, you could actually generate different voices for the different sections. So let's go with George. Quickly test it.
The less effort, the faster and more powerful you will be.
So we select George. And we go play.
Text them separately.
So it should be test, not text. So again, why you want to proofread.
Test them separately.
Okay, so now we want to listen to the entire thing. So what we can do is do that. So we've activated continue to play to the next part afterwards. So let's just play the whole thing.
Test any text we want, so if you had a script, you would add it here.
Test them separately.
Okay, so the two voices aren't a good match for what we're doing here, but you get the idea. You can create the whole document in a way that you would just inside a Word document, where you can change the header, you can literally list this out and read it with different voices if you want, or you could literally just highlight the entire thing and click play to get it to generate the entire script for you. So if you wanted to, say, put in something that was way more than the 5,000 limit character, so we could put into here an entire sort of 10-minute, 15-minute, 20-minute, however long video that you want, highlight the entire thing, and then auto-generate it. Or you could go through and do it paragraph by paragraph to make sure it's all working right for you to save your quota as well. And then when you're ready, you can come here and just go convert, and then you will literally be able to convert. If you haven't generated it already, it will give you the different versions, but it's already pretty much converted. So let's go convert. All done. And then once it's ready, you'll be able to download it inside of your projects. So we go close, and we close that down. And then we can actually just download it here. And then you'll see that it's automatically been downloaded for me to use inside of my video. And that's it. That's how you can create your YouTube voiceovers in one single go, rather than breaking it down as you had to do previously. So that's where projects are really, really powerful. Okay, as mentioned, I'll put links to all the recommended tools in the video description, along with additional resources on building profitable YouTube channels. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.